was always the Jags.
It's always the Jags. It's always the Jags.
Always the Jags.
Welcome to Always the Jags, your number one podcast for all things Jacksonville, all things Jaguars, all things Duval. Guys, we are on the precipice of the playoffs. Like, this is not even like the Jaguars have a chance to make the playoffs. Obviously, we're already in the playoffs, but we are on the precipice of playoff success. We are on the precipice of week 1 of the NFL playoffs in the wild card round. How crazy is that? Like, again, I thought we would make the playoffs before the season. People said I was crazy. Did I say we were going to go 13-4? I definitely did not. Yet here we are. And is there any limit for how far we can go? Is there anybody who could really is there anybody that we don't match up well against? I think that's the question. So first, let's break down this last game of the season, which I got to attend. It was actually my wife and I's anniversary, and Trevor gifted us with 3 touchdown passes. So thank you, Trevor. That was a wonderful anniversary present. I was texting one of my buddies about being at the game, and they're like, wow, kudos to you for finding a wife that is willing to spend her anniversary at a football game. And I was like, bro, I'd be thanking God every day for that incredible woman. Every single day. 6 years and counting. And so, yes, this is the perfect way to spend it, with an absolute rout of the Titans. So let's break down the game a little bit. Because, I mean, obviously the Titans came in looking to play spoiler. That's what we did to the Colts in 2021, and that's what the Titans did to us in 2023. And so when you got a division rival, and they have a chance to solidify their spot in the playoffs or get into the playoffs, for a team that's trying to up and come, but you're still playing for something, the Titans still had something to play for. They wanted to play for the development of Cam Ward. And on the first drive of the game, not going to lie, it looks bad. We had a sack, and Titans forced a quick 3 and out. And then Cam Ward drove down the field, made it 7-0, which is an advantage for the Titans, because if I'm not mistaken, we had the ball first. So the game started off a little rough. It started off a little nerve-wracking, especially because we're going against a Titans team. We're going we're going against one of the worst teams in the NFL right now. They're just not on the same level that we are. But again, people drop games to division rivals, lesser teams all the time. Again, look at Steelers, Browns. Look at Bengals, Browns. So, but here's the difference. Here's the part that changed. Liam Cohen saw that, right? Because against the Colts in week 18 of week 20 of year 2021, when we finally saw Trevor have a good game, it was like the Colts couldn't stop the bleeding, right? They realized, the Jaguars are here to play. That's going to be, and they were unable to stop the bleeding and stop it from getting any worse than that. This time, Liam Cohen saw what was happening, and he stopped the bleeding. That's the whole difference. He stopped it. He said, no, lock in. And we locked in. Now, again, obviously, I would have preferred if Cam Ward had played the whole game, so our defense had a chance to play a really a tougher opponent to kind of get going. But we didn't. Cam Ward got knocked out of the game when he ran for that touchdown, and he hurt his shoulder. They decided to pull him out for the game, and they put in Brandon Allen, which makes sense from a Titans perspective. You don't want Cam Ward to ruin his shoulder or develop some bad habits by playing on a bum shoulder. Makes plenty of sense from their perspective. The difference is, or I guess the question is, would the game have been as out of the Titans wouldn't have won? First of all, let's not kid ourselves. But would the game have been as out of reach for the Titans had Cam Ward been able to play? Maybe so. We don't know that for sure. But when the Jaguars needed to lock in, they did, right? And again, the defense didn't lose anybody. So the offense had to pick it up, and they went and marched down the field and scored a touchdown, and then scored another one, and then scored another one, and they just kept scoring. And then, Antonio Johnson got to take a pick 6, got an interception, housed it, and the stadium was electric. I mean, it was absolutely packed. and it was electric. And I was thinking, like, I have to go on a road trip this weekend with my family, and I was like, man, maybe there's a way that I can like stay back and like go to the Buffalo game and then just fly out to meet them. And then I looked at those tickets and I was like, never mind, I don't make that kind of money yet because the tickets for the Bills game have already shot up. So get him if you can. I mean, I know Liam Collins saying he needs a stadium to pack out, but like, man, it's there's already so many tickets that are being sold, and the price has already gone like way up. So it's a great spot to be in. It's a great spot to be in because now we can uh, a couple of things from this game takeaways, right? So like again, 41-7, what else is there to say? We're a better team than the Titans, especially when their quarterback's not playing. I mean, but again, is the score going to be that different with Cam Ward? And again, the thing is, here's the thing that I like about the defense and the way the game played. With their starting quarterback, yes, Tennessee was able to put up some points. When the backup came in, a reasonable expectation would have been to win the game. And the consistent expectation would be, okay, don't let this guy score anything on this. Like it's the Titans and their quarterback's not playing. He shouldn't be able to get any points at all. You should blank him out. Brandon Allen should not be able to score on us. And he didn't. And to me, that's the expectation for your defense in that kind of moment. Like, like I said, the expectation would be been to win the game. But for some reason, backup quarterbacks just have done a thing to us this year. Like whether it was Riley Leonard completing some nice passes, Davis Mills rallying the Texans for a win, or man, Davis Mills also beat the Bills, so we don't really have to feel too bad about that. Or Jake Browning going crazy with the Bengals to put us to keep us out of the game. So again, the expectation to me would have been as a coach, okay, Cam Ward is out. They're not scoring a single point for the rest of the game. If Brandon Allen is playing, they shouldn't be able to score any points against our defense. That was the challenge, and our defense held up to it. Now, again, is it that tough of a challenge? Probably not. But that should have been the expectation, and they met it. Right? There's no way to exceed an expectation of this quarterback shouldn't score any points on us, other than he shouldn't complete any yards, and that's not a realistic thing at all because you can always just dump it off to your running back. So the Jaguars defense stepped up and the Jaguars offense stepped up. There was a couple of times where I was wondering why our guys were still in there. Like once Brandon Allen came in, I almost was tempted to be like, all right, do we really need to put Trevor in? Like Nick Mullins can leave this thing to a victory. It's fine. Um, but it was a cool moment, and I feel like Liam Cohen is really in tune with the fans and really in tune with um, what it meant at the stadium. I think that was the coolest moment because, like, if we were on the road against the Titans game and it was going like this, once Brandon Allen went out, if Trevor scored a touchdown and then scored another one, we probably would have taken Trevor out. Like, once it was like 27-3, 28-3, like 28-3, maybe 28-7, sorry, we probably would have taken Trevor out. But because we were at home, we got a really cool moment to see Trevor complete to, of course, his guy, Parker Washington, to hit that 4,000 yards on the season. And the entire stadium stood up and clapped and rallied around him as the announcer made the announcement. And you could tell that's what Liam Cohen was going for. I would have loved to see Trevor get that rushing touchdown and join that Josh Allen, Cam Newton company. But he passed for 4,000 yards, right? Like that's an accomplishment in and of itself. It's his third time doing it, and he got to do it in a fashion where all the fans got to stand up, look at him, clap for him. He did it, a wave acknowledging that, like, that's when we knew his day was done, right? Like, once he completed that pass and got to 4,000. And to me, that's Liam Cohen playing to the home crowd, playing to the fans, and playing to the people of Jacksonville. And that's the kind of thing that rallies your guys around. Like, again, I can understand the importance of, like, hey, I don't need my guy in there to win this game. We need to not get hurt. And that was a worthy, and it was kind of a gamble on Liam Cohen's part because obviously Trevor didn't end up getting hurt. But I think it was worth it for what it did for the fans and what it did for the people in that stadium who got to, celebrate and congratulate Trevor Lawrence on this accomplishment. And I think Liam Cohen knows the fans of Jacksonville. He knows the people, and I feel like he knows. Again, this is something that's only significant because it's a home game. If this was on the road, obviously the announcer's not going to announce like, oh, hey, the opposing quarterback just passed 4,000 yards. Like, that's not going to be a thing. So it was nice that everyone got to celebrate with Trevor. You know, it was really nice for the fans. And then Cam Little. Oh my God. Oh my God. 67-yarder. I was really wondering if he was going to hit the 6-7, you know, at the end of it. Didn't quite get there. But Cam Little is a weapon. He is a beast. He is I don't even know how else to describe it. Like, he's such a weapon. Someone posted, like, there's so many memes going on where people are like, defensive coordinators realizing that Trevor only needs one first down to kick a field goal now. Essentially, because you get the ball at the 35-yard line, and if Trevor gets, I mean, I guess it's 2 first downs. He only needs to get to like the 55-yard line for us to have a realistic chance of kicking a field goal. That's crazy. That's crazy. And like, someone tweeted like something's got to change because you should not be able to get a first down after kicking. I mean, you should not be able to get a first down, get 3 points after only getting like 15, 20 yards. And it's like, well, then get a kicker that's as good as Cam Little. That's your only solution there, you know, because the rules are you get the ball at the 35, and Trevor is good enough to get us 20 yards, and Cam Little can just do the rest with that. And his leg is so small. Like, he's like, it's funny because his name is Cam Little, but he's actually like a tiny person compared to the rest of the football players around him. Like, you see him stand next to Trevor Lawrence, and it's like, what? But he's a tiny person, and so seeing him boot that field goal, I'm just like, I don't know how much power is in that leg. But obviously that was a crazy moment too, because that was a 67-yarder. So now Cam Little, he's literally kicked the 3 longest field goals that have ever been kicked on an NFL field in an NFL game. 70-yarder in the preseason, 68-yarder for the official record versus the Raiders, and a 67-yarder, still higher than anybody else in this game. All because the Titans went for it on 4th down, didn't convert, and we kicked the field goal. That was the point in the game. Like, I think the Titans already knew there wasn't any hope, but that was the point in the game where it's like, there's nothing we can do. Like, from the Titans fan, if you were watching that and then you got to that point, there's literally 1 second left, so of course you would go for it on 4th down because there's 1 second left. They line up Cam Little. It's 31-7. 31-7. Turnover on downs. Like, I think that knocked all the wind out of their sails, if they had any wind in their sails to begin with. So yeah, I mean, everything's firing on all cylinders right now, and the question is, how far can we keep that going? Thank you so much for watching Always the Jags. Make sure you like and subscribe down below. Check out some of these other videos that I'm sure you'll be interested in as we chase Duval greatness. Thank you for joining us again, and until next time.